You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, General Hospital fans, we've got Ric Lansing still held captive by Ava Jerome, Kristina Corinthos, and Alexis Davis. They think they've got him totally under control, but this week, Ric gets loose and he goes after Alexis with a knife, scaring her half to death. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we're going to talk about what happens after Ric creeps up out of the basement and who finds him at Alexis's house, because somebody will, and he's not going to get away so easily. Please hit that subscribe button if you aren't following us. Let's jump in. So right now, we saw Ava force a sleeping pill onto Ric and then took off as he seemed to be nodding off. And Alexis was upstairs busy working after Ava left, and she assumed Ric is securely taped to that gurney in her basement while she gets work done that's related to Monica's upcoming will reading. So we know Ric hasn't been taking his sleeping pills, and he's been working on getting that duct tape loose, and he finally broke free after Ava took off. So this week, Ric terrifies Alexis. He holds a knife to her throat as she is lying on her sofa. So no doubt, Ric holding a knife to her neck may be doubly traumatic to Alexis and cause some PTSD back to her now dead ex-husband, Julian Jerome. Remember when he held a knife to her throat? That was terrifying. And on top of that, Helena Cassadine murdered Alexis's mother right in front of her. She slit her throat with that dagger that Sidwell had, if you remember. That was years and years ago. So lots of knife and throat trauma going on for Alexis. And this Ric attack completely blindsides Alexis. And the bottom line was none of his lady captors thought that Ric could get free, but he did. However, we know from General Hospital spoilers that Ava has perfect timing this week, so I'm betting she circles back to Alexis's place for some reason, and I'm betting Ava catches Ric holding the knife at Alexis's throat, and I further suspect Ava gets the better of Ric and saves Alexis. You do not mess with that art gallery owner, because Ava probably has a gun in her purse. It wouldn't be the first or last time she was packing heat in her designer handbag. So I suspect Ric's knife won't intimidate Ava, and she and Alexis are going to get the better of Ric and haul him back down to that basement, strap him back to his gurney with double the duct tape and that ball gag back in his mouth. Now, maybe he gets away, but I feel like he just won't. I think his time in the basement is not over yet. Ric has got so much karmic retribution that he is owed. So I don't think this attack on Alexis is going to help Ric get away from his lady captors, not just yet. But once Ava and Alexis get him strapped back down, I feel like there's a chance somebody else may find out that they are holding Ric captive in Alexis's basement before time is up, and they let him go once those bonds have matured. So let's talk about who might find Ric and whether they'd actually cut him free or leave him to get what he deserves and kind of laugh at the fact that he is strapped to a gurney in Alexis's dank basement. I bet at least one person will find Ric, maybe more, but I don't think that they would let him go. I mean, I'm sure at some point somebody could be at Alexis's place and hear some banging or noise in the basement and go check it out and then be shocked to find Ric bound and gagged. Now, Sonny is over at her place now and then to talk to Alexis or to see Kristina. But come on, if Sonny found his awful half-brother Ric taped to a gurney, I don't even think he would ask any questions. I bet Sonny would just laugh his butt off, turn around and leave him there and say, have fun. There is absolutely no love lost between Ric and Sonny, and honestly, neither one of them would care if the other dropped dead. So it would definitely be bad news for Ric if Sonny's the one to find him. He might just tell Alexis, good job, and just walk out the door. Now, there's always the chance that Carly could pop in on Alexis, especially since both of them and Michael are on the short list of suspects in Drew Kane's shooting. I mean, I think it would be absolutely amazing if Carly heard a noise and went down and found Rick in the basement. I mean, that would be the ultimate irony. And Carly would also laugh right in Rick's face because the tables are turned. If you're a longtime watcher, you'll remember back in 2003 on General Hospital, Rick held pregnant Carly captive in a panic room for a month because he wanted to steal Carly's baby so he could raise it with Elizabeth. That was back in Rick's even more villainous era. So Carly would love to see Rick tied up in Alexis's basement. That would be the ultimate karmic payback. So if Carly found him, she would laugh. She might poke the ball gag and just walk out. Also, imagine if it was Jason that found Rick down there for some reason. He'd roll his eyes. He'd walk away too. If Michael stopped by to see his sister Kristina and stumbled upon Rick, he would also turn a blind eye and walk away. I mean, Michael might ask some questions, but he definitely wouldn't alert the PCPD or help Rick. There's no way. Then, of course, there's Nina, who's best friends with Ava, and since she's also been questioned about Drew's shooting and herself has a shaky alibi because Willow keeps kind of threatening her, you never know. Nina might pop in to see Alexis to ask if she or Molly have heard from Rick since Willow needs her custody lawyer. But Nina is another one who would laugh in Rick's face and leave him right where he is. Nina might cackle and say, "Have fun," and ask if this is some new kink of her ex-husband's that she doesn't know about. She'd probably ask Ava and Alexis about Rick, but she wouldn't help him. Now, of course, if Molly found Rick, that would be the best case scenario for him. She's probably the only one who would let him go that has close ties to his kidnappers. Most everybody else in Port Charles hates Rick for very good reasons. I do think Elizabeth might help him out, but really the odds are low that she would find him. She is never over at Alexis's house, so that seems like a real long shot. Unless Liz stopped by to ask Molly if she's heard from her dad, Rick. The worst case for the kidnappers is that Anna or Dante or Chase found Rick while searching Alexis's place as part of the Drew shooting investigation. However, even with them, I think they would untie Rick and let him go. But then I think they might pretend they didn't see anything since they hate Rick too. The same way they kind of ignored Michael's assault on Drew. I think they might ignore what these ladies have done to Rick. And he really still can't say anything because there is blackmail proof. They've all got leverage on each other. So he might have to pretend that it was some kind of a weird, kinky thing gone wrong. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what happens when they do finally let Rick go, unless somebody else lets him go.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.